Top 10 horror movies of all time. 1. Psycho, 1960. A Phoenix secretary embezzles $40,000 from her employer's client, goes on the run, and checks into a remote motel run by a young man under the domination of his mother. Director, Alfred Hitchcock. Stars, Anthony Perkins, Janet Leigh, Vera Miles, John Gavin. Votes, 557,169, gross, $32 million. One of the finest films ever made and the greatest horror film of all time, features dark, twisted and thrilling storytelling and masterful direction from the master of suspense Alfred Hitchcock. Psycho is now a legendary film. Rosemary's Baby 2. Rosemary's Baby, 1968. A young couple moves into an apartment only to be surrounded by peculiar neighbors and occurrences. When the wife becomes mysteriously pregnant, paranoia over the safety of her unborn child begins to control her life. Director, Roman Polanski. Stars, Mia Farrow, John Cassavetes, Ruth Gordon, Sidney Blackmer. Votes, 177,105. A frightening tale of Satanism and pregnancy that is even more disturbing than it sounds, thanks to convincing and committed performances by Mia Farrow and Ruth Gordon, that results in one of the finest horror movies of all time that features excellent direction and cinematography. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, 1974. Two siblings and three of their friends en route to visit their grandfather's grave in Texas end up falling victim to a family of cannibalistic psychopaths and must survive the terrors of Leatherface and his family. Director, Tobe Hooper. Stars, Marilyn Burns, Edwin Neal, Alan Danziger, Paul A. Partain. Votes, 125,868, gross, $30.86 million. A truly terrifying piece of filmmaking that has beautiful cinematography and documentary-style camera work filled with disturbing imagery that creates non-stop suspense. The Texas Chainsaw drenches the Texan desert in blood in a terrifying exploration of cannibalism and isolation. The Shining 4. The Shining, 1980. A family heads to an isolated hotel for the winter where a sinister presence influences the father into violence, while his psychic son sees horrific forebodings from both past and future. Director, Stanley Kubrick. Stars, Jack Nicholson, Shelley Duvall, Danny Lloyd, Scatman Crothers. Votes, 821,417, gross, $44.02 million. Though it deviates from Stephen King's novel, Stanley Kubrick's The Shining is a chilling, often baroque journey into madness, exemplified by an unforgettable turn from Jack Nicholson. With excellent direction from Stanley Kubrick and iconic scenes, The Shining is terrifying. The Exorcist 5. The Exorcist, 1973. When a teenage girl is possessed by a mysterious entity, her mother seeks the help of two priests to save her daughter. Director, William Friedkin. Stars, Ellen Burstyn, Max von Sydow, Linda Blair, Lee J. Cobb. Votes, 343,052, gross, $232.91 million. The Exorcist rides its supernatural theme to magical effect, with remarkable special effects and an eerie atmosphere, resulting in one of the scariest films of all time. With great performances and creepy moments, The Exorcist is a classic. Jaws 6. Jaws, 1975. When a killer shark unleashes chaos on a beach community, it's up to a local sheriff, a marine biologist, and an old seafarer to hunt the beast down. Director, Steven Spielberg. Stars, Roy Scheider, Robert Shaw, Richard Dreyfuss, Lorraine Gary. Votes, 520,229, gross, $260 million. Compelling, well-crafted storytelling and a judicious sense of terror ensure Steven Spielberg's Jaws has remained a benchmark in the art of delivering modern blockbuster thrills. Jaws is terrifying and one of the greatest films ever made. Halloween 7. Halloween, 1978. 15 years after murdering his sister on Halloween night 1963, Michael Myers escapes from a mental hospital and returns to the small town of Haddonfield, Illinois to kill again. Director, John Carpenter. Stars, Donald Pleasance, Jamie Lee Curtis, Tony Moran, Nancy Kyes. Votes, 214,289, gross, $47 million. Scary, suspenseful, and viscerally thrilling, Halloween set the standard for modern horror films. Halloween revolutionized the horror genre and made an icon of Michael Myers in one of the most terrifying movies ever made. Alien 8. Alien, 1979. After a space merchant vessel perceives an unknown transmission as a distress call, its landing on the source moon finds one of the crew attacked by a mysterious life form, and they soon realize that its life cycle has merely begun. Director, Ridley Scott, stars, Sigourney Weaver, Tom Skerritt, John Hurt, Veronica Cartwright. Votes, 735,802, gross, $78.90 million. A modern classic, Alien blends science fiction, horror and bleak poetry into a seamless whole. With claustrophobic thrills and chills and an empowering performance from Sigourney Weaver, Alien is a horror classic. Don't Look Now 9. Don't Look Now, 1973. A married couple grieving the recent death of their young daughter are in Venice when they encounter two elderly sisters, one of whom is psychic and brings a warning from beyond. Director, Nicholas Roeg, stars, Julie Christie, Donald Sutherland, Hilary Mason, Clelia Matania. Votes, 44,981. Don't Look Now patiently builds suspense with haunting imagery and a chilling score, causing viewers to feel Donald Sutherland and Julie Christie's grief deep within. Filled with emotion and terrific performances and twisted storytelling. The Witch 10. The Witch 2015. A family in 1630s New England is torn apart by the forces of witchcraft, black magic, and possession. Director, Robert Eggers, stars, Anya Taylor-Joy, Ralph Ineson, Kate Dickie, Julian Richings. Votes, 168,485, gross, $25.14 million. As thought-provoking as it is visually compelling, The Witch delivers a deeply unsettling exercise in slow-building horror that suggests great things for debuting writer-director Robert Eggers. With excellent cinematography and twisted and creatively dark storytelling.